Here I'm going to talk about set builder notation and interval notation and using it to write our domain and range. So first off, a set is a collection of things. It's usually numbers, and notice the brackets, the shape of the brackets around those numbers here. This is the basic format for set builder notation. So you can build a set. It's within those same brackets here, so you know that this is a set. And the way you read it, it's saying that all of these x's such that, notice we have just a vertical line, x is greater than 0. So our domain includes all of the x's that are greater than 0. So let's practice this with this one. What is the domain? Notice that this is going up forever and inching out to the right and left forever. So the domain includes all real numbers. So you would say all the x's such that x is in between negative infinity and infinity. And then end your set. So again, you would say the set includes, that's what these brackets mean, x's such that x is in between negative infinity and infinity. Now what is the range? Range, it goes up forever and it goes down to -3. So all of our y's are bigger than -3. So the set includes y's such that y is greater than -3. Again, the most important parts is the set notation brackets. You're saying what you're defining, and this means such that. Now, interval notation. An interval is all the numbers between two given numbers. This is an example of interval notation. This is saying the numbers between 0 and 20. If our end brackets are boxed out like they're shown here in blue, that means we're including that number. If they are curved, that means you're not including that number. So if this is telling me the domain is between 0 and 20, but not including 0 and not including 20, then there would be an open circle at 0, and maybe this is our graph, and an open circle at 20, because it doesn't include 0 and 20, but it does include all the numbers, all the x values between 0 and 20. If we had this interval notation and this was our domain, it's all the numbers between 5 and 12. This means not including 5, so there's an open circle at 5, and then maybe our function goes like this, and this says it does include 12 because it is boxed out, so you'd have a solid dot there at 12. So this is the domain of this graph from 5 to 12, not including 5, but including 12. So let's try this one. What is the domain? Well, it goes from -3 all the way to 1 on the x-axis. So -3 to 1. Notice there's an open dot here at -3, so it doesn't include -3. A solid dot at 1, so it does include 1. So this is our domain. What is the range? Well, it goes from -4 up to 0. So from -4 up to 0. At -4, we have a solid dot, and also this line passes through it. This probably has a y-coordinate of -4 also. So let's do a bracket here. And then 0, this has an open dot, but here it looks like it crosses at 0, so there's a solid dot. So there is at least one point on this graph that has a y-coordinate of 0. So you would do a boxed bracket there as well. So that is our domain and range and interval notation.